Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about eyeshadow blending 101 because you guys voted on it. So if this is the video that you wanted to see, then keep on watching. All right, so I already have my brows on. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna show you guys how I kind of just, after I get my brows on, how I do everything from like my brow down to my lid, since you guys wanted to see eyeshadow techniques. So what I'm gonna do is go in with the MAC Paint Pot in Layin Low. And this is a little Morphe angled brush and it has an eyebrow spoolie on the end. Some powder on the end of that, because I do have some powder under the eyes, baking in my concealer. So what I do is I just take this right underneath the brow to clean it up and shape it to how I want it to be. Because let's be honest, sometimes when you're filling in your brows, you can slop a little, you can kind of get it out of line from how you want it. So this just kind of helps tidy them up. You can fix any mistakes that you have. And even if you didn't make any mistakes, I mean, this can kind of just help you to line them up how you want them to be. So this is just what I do. You guys wanted to see it, so you got it. All right, and then I just bring that down because that is our eyeshadow primer as well. And then, of course, as always, I will have everything linked below that we use today. I try really hard before I start filming to have everything nice and neat, but you know I can't stay organized. So then I'm gonna go in with my little blending sponge here and just make sure that that eyeshadow primer is nicely blended in, trying not to hit the brows. Just because this whole process will go so much smoother if that is nicely blended out. All right, so today we're gonna be using the Morphe 350 palette. I'm pretty sure this palette is like $22. Morphe is very affordable. But with doing eyeshadow and perfecting it, you need a good eyeshadow. It doesn't have to be a $50 eyeshadow for it to be good. Like I said, this palette is like $22, I think. Morphe does have a few cheaper ones than that even. So something that works well. Maybelline has good eyeshadows. CoverGirl has good eyeshadows. You need something that is a good shadow. So then what I like to do after I have my primer down is I like to go in with a neutral skin toned colored shadow over my primer, because it is so much easier to blend out eyeshadow if you have something down over the primer to kind of matte it down. So I'm gonna actually go into this shade right here, and I'm actually taking a Morphe E8 brush and I'm just picking some of that up and literally just swiping it over the primer. And that is gonna help with blending so much. And it's not even like a noticeable thing. I mean, maybe you can notice it like mattified down, but it is a huge step in this whole process. All right. So then what I like to do is I like to build up color on my lids. That's how I, for the large part of my adult life, have done eyeshadow. So I'm gonna start with, I don't know why I still have this plastic thing in here. Like, we do not need you. All right, I'm gonna start with this kind of, am I gonna start with that? Yeah. I'm gonna start with this tan shade. And this is just a Morphe M518 brush. And I'm gonna pick some of that up. And I am just going to very lightly holding my brush. I'm very light-handed doing this. I'm gonna start on the outer corner because that's where I want the biggest deposit of color to be. So I'm gonna start just doing small little windshield wiper motions there first, and then kind of bring it over to the outer corner here. And this isn't going to be a huge color difference that you see here. Like I said, we're just building up color. So again, I'm gonna go in with a tiny bit more of that. Again, starting on the outer corner and then working my way in. I mean, you should be able to see the product, but it's not gonna be some big, bold eye. We're not there yet. And then again to this eye. So I'm avoiding the lid. If you do get some down on the lid, that's totally okay. It's easy to clean it up. Just try to avoid the lid as much as possible. If you do have hooded eyes, what you're going to want to do is where the natural hood and crease is, you're going to want to bring that up above that crease. And again, do the same thing. You can do the same steps. You're just bringing yours up a little bit higher because it's going to make it appear like you don't have hooded eyes. All right, so then using that same brush, I'm going to take a little bit of this brown shade right here. Same brush. And again, doing the same thing, keeping that on the outer corner first, and then bringing it in. Again, just doing little circular motions to really make sure that that is blended out. Every time I film, my dog barks. She knows she can sense the camera. I swear she can. All right, so see, we're starting to be able to see that color a little bit more now. All right, then what I'm gonna do is go in, again using the same brush, and pick up this shade right here. And then, because this is a darker shade, I'm gonna tap some of that off my brush just so we don't have a lot of fallout. And I am going to start on that outer corner. I'm also not bringing this all the way up to my brow. I'm keeping a little gap there so we can go in with a highlight shade here in a bit. Okay. All right, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna add just a tiny little touch of color to this. So I'm gonna go into this reddish orange shade right here. And just pop that right on the outer corner. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a Morphe M506 brush into that reddish orange shade. And I'm gonna bring that down slightly. This is the smallest brush. Obviously, if you don't have these brushes, that's okay, but something kind of similar to these. I know Wet n Wild has some similar. The Morphe ones are very affordable. But if I'm just gonna take that little brush and I'm gonna kind of go a little bit into my crease, just a little bit more to brighten that shade up. And I'm gonna bring it down on my lid, making a V shape. You can kind of see the V shape that I am making. Then I'm gonna go back into that first Morphe brush that we are using, and I am just going to buff that out. I'm not adding any more product to the brush. There's already product in the brush. We are just buffing that out. And you just wanna blend it until you can't really see any lines so that it kind of looks like just one piece, not a start and stop of different colors. And I'm blending down on the little here. Blending that out just to soften up that line where we made the V shape, just softening it as much as possible. Then I'm gonna go in with another Morphe brush. This is the E36 brush, and I'm gonna pick up some of this shade right here and just apply it onto my lid where we don't have any product yet. And then I'm just bringing that right to the center of that V that we made. trying my hardest to keep it off of my crease. And then I am going to add some of this to the inner corner of my eye for a little highlight as well. Then I'm going to go back into that Morphe M518 brush, and I'm going to just fuse together where I've put that shimmer shade with what is down on my lid. I'm barely holding this. I do not have a tight grip on it at all because I want the bristles of that brush to just lightly go over it and kind of fuse those two together so you can't see where it starts and stops. Then I'm going to go in with the Morphe M506 brush. I'm gonna pick up some of that light brown shade that we used right here. And I'm gonna just pop this on the lower lash line here to smoke this look out a little bit. I feel like this just kind of brings it all together. Then I'm gonna go back in with that bigger Morphe brush that we've been using and just kind of smoke this out. Then I'm gonna take this clean Wet n Wild brush and I'm gonna pick up a little bit of this shimmery white shade right here. And I'm gonna pop this right up here by the brow bone. Again, I'm going super, super light-handed because I don't want it to look like, I want it to all flow together, kind of like a watercolor painting or an airbrush effect, I guess I should say. Don't want to have a bunch of start and stops. If you do notice that there is kind of that, you can go back in with that blending brush and kind of just blend them together so you don't have a lot of that. And this is it for the eyeshadow. I'm gonna pop on some liner, lashes, and mascara, and we will be right back. All right, guys, I did pop on my mascara and lashes and did a bit of contouring. So this is the finished eye look that we did today. I hope that you learned some awesome tricks and tips on blending. Why can I never talk when I'm filming? I don't understand. I hope that you learned some cool tips and tricks today, something that'll help you out. If you do have any questions about this video, then leave them in the comments below and I will get back to you. If you are not subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button before you leave. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, hit that little bell icon down there. It will notify you when I upload a video so you can be the first to watch it, or just so that you don't miss out on it in general, because why would you want to miss out on it, right? Right. So that is it. If you'd like to follow me on my other social medias, they are linked below in the description box, along with the brushes and palette that we used today and everything else that we used today. So check it out, read the description box, go be nice to someone, tell someone you love them today, tell yourself that you love yourself. Stay beautiful, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!